Welcome to our 5th video in this series. It's likely that if you provide telecommunications, broadcasting or electronically supplied service to private customers in EU countries, then you will have been affected by the recent EU-wide changes in the VAT place-of-supply rules.
As a quick reminder, until 31st of December 2014, VAT on these services was due in accordance with where the supplier belonged. As of 1st of January 2015, VAT is now due where the private customer belongs, and sales will be subject to VAT at the rate in the appropriate EU country. Electronically supplied services are defined in the rules as services delivered over the internet or an electronic network, and the nature of which renders their supply essentially automated and involving minimal human intervention, and impossible to ensure in the absence of information technology.
These 4 elements are given equal weighting, and once it is decided that the supply is an e-service, the VAT rules in the private customer's country then apply and will dictate whether the service is subject to VAT and at what rate.
What is meant by essentially automated and minimal human intervention is open to interpretation by each member state. But recently, examples have been discussed by the European VAT Committee, and we should see some consensus over this in EU guidance soon. By way of indication, online services where the delivery involves human effort from the supplier, such as live lectures or a concierge-type service, are unlikely to meet the definition of electronically supplied services.
To comply with the rules, you can either obtain multiple VAT registrations, one in each member state where you have a non-business customer, or you can opt to account for VAT across the EU by a single electronic return called the Mini One-Stop Shop, or MOSS for short. MOSS VAT returns are submitted on a calendar quarterly basis, and the second returns of 2015 will be due on the 20th of July.
If you choose instead to obtain local VAT registrations across the EU, you can either manage these yourself or seek the assistance of a compliance outsourcer, like KPMG's global network of member firms. If you're unsure of what to do, please take a look at the other short videos that we have produced in this series, as there are pros and cons to using the MOSS or registering locally.
Unfortunately, there is no sales threshold under the new rules, which means that even the very smallest businesses need to charge overseas VAT when they make a sale of relevant services into EU member states. Micro businesses are typically defined as having less than £82,000 worth of annual turnover. HMRC are allowing UK micro businesses to register under MOSS for their cross-border sales only.
This helpfully allows these businesses to only charge and account for VAT on their sales into other EU member states, without also having to charge UK VAT on their UK domestic sales.
It is our understanding that several other EU member states, including Ireland, have implemented similar rules for their own micro businesses. Recently, on May the 6th, the EU Commission released its strategy for the EU single digital market, one aspect of which is to propose an EU-wide common VAT threshold for small startups setting online. This is sensible, and it demonstrates an acknowledgement that small businesses would benefit from a cross-border threshold, even though one does not exist currently. Remember that the key points to bear in mind when selling to EU customers are: 1. Where is your customer located? 2. What is the local VAT rate applicable in that particular country? And 3. Are there any special rules, like invoicing requirements, that you need to be aware of? The implications and issues in these areas are discussed further in our other short videos, and we'll give you the link in just a moment.
Early reports suggest that the number of MOSS registrations across the EU is around 9,000, with over 2,000 of these in the UK. This is actually lower than expected, but the Commission is working with the tax authorities in each member state to investigate why. Possible explanations are that suppliers are VAT registering locally, ceasing to sell cross-border, or simply not complying with the rules.
The EU Commission's strategy for an EU single digital market also proposes to extend the MOSS in future to include sales of physical goods. Therefore, it certainly seems that MOSS is here to stay. Our recommendation, of course, for all businesses is to make sure you're informed regarding the changes and to ensure that you are compliant.
To find out more regarding the 2015 VAT changes and how they might affect your business, visit our website where we have all the latest links to available guidance. Or come and speak to us at KPMG for more help.